everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in the today's video we will be diving into the most important programming techniques in JavaScript, which is currying. So in the end of the video you will be able to understand about the currying concept, also its use cases and also the real world examples. So basically, what is currying? So currying is a technique where the function with multiple arguments is transferred into a sequence of functions, each taking a single argument. So basically, when we declare a function with multiple arguments and returning some string or number, then we have to convert that multiple arguments into the series of functions, each function taking single arguments. So let's see with example. Suppose we have one function, add function, right? And we print this sum of three variables, right? So let's see, the sum is 6. Okay, so this is a normal function. So every time, suppose every time we have to pass three arguments in this function. So this is a normal function, right? So here is a curried function. So we already discussed that if there are multiple arguments passed into the function, so we have to split that arguments into multiple functions. Suppose there is a add function, we need to return another function which takes another argument, the second argument, and we inside that we return another function which takes the third argument, and it will return the result in the end. So we can call this function like this: add 1 2, call the function like this, and again call the function, because add 1 will be returning another function, and whenever we call the function with second argument, it will return another function, and then again call with third argument, it will return the result. So we see console.add. So see, 6 anyway with this curried function also. So you might be thinking like, why would I ever do that? Why we need to split that arguments into the multiple functions? We can directly do pass these functions. So why would we do that? So we will first learn step by step that how it is functioning. So how it works step by step. So we call add one, right? It returns a function. We call add function. We call it returns the function with waiting for the b parameter, returns fb, right? And we passed 2 here, which is a b argument, and it returns another function, return function with c argument, right? We pass 3 and it returns the result. So basically it also remembers the value a. Whenever we call add a, right, it returns the function and it remembers the value from the outer function, which is a, right? And then we again call the function, it remembers the value b from outer function, and we again call with 3 and it remembers the value from c function. So these remembering of values is also known as closures. So we will deep dive into the closures in the next video, but in today's video you can only know that the variables we can from the outer function we can use the variables even if that function is executed. So let's see by step, means if we do it like this, like we call add one, right? It is returning another function, we say add into a particular variable, step 1, right? Step 1 is also waiting for some argument, right? So we call we pass 2 here, step 1, we call this function 2, right? So it returns another function which is you can say waiting for c argument, and step 2 we call step 2 with the c third argument, which returns the result. And whenever I console the result, it will return again 6, right? So this is basically a currying technique. So but we need to find why we need to use the currying technique instead of directly passing 3 variables. So let's move into that. Let's see one real world example, and then we will able to know why we will be doing the currying technique. So we have a multiply function, right? We have a multiply function in which we are passing a and it returns a function which requires a argument b. So we this is a curried function, right? And it you can say it multiply the both the variables, right? Suppose we have to do some calculation in the app, like for multiplication of 2 and multiplication of 3. So we will create one function, one simple function. Suppose we have a multiply function and have arguments a, b, right? And return a into b. So whenever we try to find the calculation for multiple of 2, we will be passing 2 every time. Multiple of 2, like I want multiple like multiply by 2 with number 5. So 2 5. Every time I have to know about that number, like I want to know about the result with multiple of 2, then I have to again pass 2 every time, right? If want to know the result about 10 into 2, 5 into 2, 15 into 2, I have to pass let's you can see I have to pass multiple 2 arguments every time, right? So this is basically a you can say repeating the code or repeating the function, right? So to remove that repeatability and reusable of the function, we create technique and function. We create the function according to the currying concept. So let's see here. So we create the function in which we passed a, right? And it returns the function with b, and then it returns the result a into b. Suppose we want only the multiple of 2, right? So we call this function, and we know we pass 2 here and it returns another function. We save into that into a double, right? So and also we create that for multiple of 3 and it's triple. So whenever we want to multiply some number with 2, we only have to call this double 5, double 10, double 15. Cool, right? So this is basically the importance of currying, that we are removing the repeatability in some sense, right? So this is one of the basic example, and let's see move to another real world example. Okay, so suppose we have a greet we have to build a greeting system, right? And we have to generate some strings inside the application, and the names will be different. We know that whenever user login, so that name will be occurring in the statement. So and also the hello or the particular, like the hello name will be printed. So we have to build the greeting system, and inside that greeting, if we have simple function, suppose we have a simple greeting function and we pass greetings can be hi, hello, and we pass name. and we return greeting name. So we whenever we have to uh, calculate and like make the statement, we pass greeting like this: hello John, right? Hello Sarah, right? Every time we have to pass hello. So this is mainly repeating the code itself. So we make this function, like we have passed the two arguments, so we make this function a curried function and return another function with the another argument. And then what we do greet hello. Like if we want the statements with only hello, and the name would be different in every case, and say hello function, we create a reusable specialized functions, and it is a say hello. So every time I need to show some hello name inside the app or project, so we only you can say call this function, and inside that we pass the name, say hello, and pass the name, right? So we can call this function as many as times and without passing hello again and again, right? So this is basically advantage of currying, and also the code will be much cleaner in this case, and also the readability is good with currying, right? So we are don't repeating the code, we are not passing the variables again and again, the same variable again and again. So this is basically uh, we see the currying concept basically whenever we have the configuration changes. Suppose we have some for configuration, and inside the configuration, right, uh, suppose we have the function configuration, and inside the configuration we have some options, url, and callback, right? So we know that options url will not change in the configuration, right? So these will be same. So why we will be create function like this, and pass every time we call the configuration function, and every time we pass the options. Inside the option we have a multiple headers, and the headers would be same for you can say every like the full project the header will be same, the url will be same, we know the domain will be same. Next is domain name will be same. So why we would be passing that two variables again and again, right? So so instead of creating this configuration like this, we create a curried function. We only pass callback, and then we only pass options, return maybe options, and options and domain name, right? And return another function, setting, and which takes an callback, right? Right, so this like this only. So we are not we will once we have some configuration function, and we call configuration options and custom domain name, then we have a configuration. We only need to pass callback every time now in full project. So we have passed the options and the custom domain name one time only, right? Because it's returns the function, and we know that these options and domain name variable value will be remembered in this function because of the closures, right? So this is basically the useful case, and the real world examples in which currying will be used. And we'll see one more example and practical use cases. Let's see the practical use cases, why we use currying. Create specialized functions from general ones without repeating code, we already discussed. Fix some arguments and pass the function around with few arguments, like we do with configuration. Like fix two arguments, we fix the two arguments, like right, and again pass the function with around with fewer parameters, and we pass one parameter here. Easily compose small functions into larger, more complex operations. Like the complex operations can be uh, at the one time, at the one place only, right? Makes code more readable and functional, programming friendly, right? So we know that if we are repeating things in the coding, that's a bad practice. So we try to make everything reusable and more readable and more functional programming, right? Having said that, also don't try to overutilize this currying thing. Suppose we have 10 arguments, and you are using returning functions 10 times, so that is the overusability, right? You have to uh, basically you have to think that bit of the parameters are same, which we don't use again and again, right? So that you can fix inside the function, and then the return function should have the dynamic thing, you can say the dynamic variable in the project, so that will be returned by the currying function. So let's see one more example, the particular use case in e-commerce applications. So we have a discount a function here, which we have make them curried function. We pass discount. Suppose I want to create a function in which all the products will have 10% discount, right? So if it is not a curried function, and I have to pass discount and price, right? So every time I have to pass 10% discount, like this function will run according to the discount variable, right? So every time I pass price, pass discount, and that calculation will happen, and it returns the result. But I know that the discount will be 10% for all the products, right? So I pass apply discount 10, I call this function, and I know it returns the function which expect the price and return the result, right? So I call this function. Without currying, it will be like apply discount 110, 210, 310. I am passing 10 again and again. So with currying, I created one function, uh, apply 10% with this curried function, and I can use this apply 10% function everywhere with every price, like 100, 200, 300, and it returns me the result of these uh, prices for particular 10% discount. And if I want also some products with 20% discount, I can pass 20 here and create function for 20%. It will return the result for 20%, right? So this is how it works, and it is useful in JavaScript for daily coding things, because many times we come across the cases we already discussed, that it useful in the API configurations, or useful in the particular configurations, or some event handlers in which we have a particular options fixed, right? Yeah, so this is all about currying, and this is all from today's video. If you found this video useful, smash the like button and subscribe for more JavaScript tutorials. And also, if you have any questions regarding the currying concept, you can drop them in the comments below. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye bye. Thanks. Happy coding.